Hello. How are you guys? Oh, thank you. I'm not sure how this live stream is going to go because I do have a sore throat still, and my voice is a bit low, but because I have been speaking, but in Spanish, and I do use a different tone when I'm speaking in Spanish. Maybe in English, it feels a bit weird. So let's see how it goes. Um, thank you. Um, Actually, every time I pull my hair, every time I pull my hair up, I am like, in this hairstyle. I look at myself in the picture and I'm like, I am just like the Buddha behind me. I look just like the Buddha. If you see the Buddha behind me with the tiny thing, that's me. That's my head. Um, that's my head. Me and the Buddha are lookalikes. Oh, yes, please help. Please give us help because I don't know how many days. I believe I had been dealing with this for like a week and a half. Um, and I feel so like I want to go back to do. I have pendant readings to do. I have things to do at a school that we are giving, some classes also for prevention of bullying at school. So, um, and I do have to use my voice. And now I have like, I mean, I'm able to speak. You can hear me. But if I talk too much, I start coughing. I start coughing like crazy. And I cannot stop. I cannot stop. I have very, very like dry kind of cough. Um, so every time I cough, it feels like my whole body, shakes. Like I use a lot of strength to cough. So it's not good. Hi. Um, seriously, welcome. Every time I look at it behind me, when I'm wearing this there's some live streams, especially during summer, that I would, pull my hair up like this, and I would be looking at it, and I would be like, yeah, I look like a Buddha behind me. We have the same head, the same head shape. Um, but yeah, I'm honored. I'm honored. but yeah, also probably this is going to be the last live stream that you guys are going to see me here in this setting, because if everything goes well, maybe during the weekend, I will be able to move to my new office, to my new place, to this new room that I have been working on, that we have been remodeling. And if everything goes well, on Sunday, I will be moving. So yeah, we will have another, well, a similar setting to this, except that the Buddha is not going to be there because the Buddha is staying here. I have to move again the bookshelves the green bookshelf that I used to have. I'm going to move it here, and I'm going to leave the Buddha here because I also want I also have I prefer to have my Buddha that it faces the entrance of my house. So I always have the Buddha here facing the door, the entrance door. I have another one in my garden, but this one is special. So I will leave it here. But yeah, I don't know how I want to decorate the other one. Probably I'm going to bring the plants. I'm going to bring some plants, but um, yeah, the Buddha is staying here. Yeah, the good thing is that despite of me being sick and having a lot of interruptions when it comes to work, because and this is not the first time that it happens to me, because when I used to work like at the customer service, because I always work with people, my main, not just me but for everyone, I guess, like my main tool of work is the voice, is speaking, is talking to people. So whenever I have these throat problems, or I have a cold, or I have this sore throat, everything, like um, it's like a stop in my productivity. Like it affects it so much. It affects it so much, um, and I feel so helpless when I have to, wait for this to recover on its own, because as colds, respiratory, issues, they take time. They take time. You can take pills, you can follow, you know, certain guidelines that the doctors give you, but you have to rest also. You have to rest, not speak. And I think that this is maybe why it took longer for me to recuperate my voice, because even though I was like almost without a voice, I would have to talk to the construction workers that they were here at my house. I would have to, as I could, to communicate with them, to let them know where the things were, to listen to them, because, they needed more material. So I had to listen to them. I had to answer back. I have to be dependent on my dad, So maybe that sort of mess up a bit with my voice and my recovery. Um, but yeah, I was so sad that I couldn't come back, that I was like, oh, I want to do a live stream, but I cannot, because I would say a few words and I would start coughing like crazy. And I don't, and I also get, so because of the strength that I have to get to cough, like I would start, like I would go red, and as if I was joking. So I was like, no, I don't want you guys to be witness of that. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, it's a mix of a lot of things because um I felt like I couldn't rest because they were working in my house. There was a lot of dust, there was a lot of chaos, there was a lot of things broken, pieces of wood, pieces of cement, pieces of the floor. um, so there was sand, there was a lot of things that they would also like enter my house, so I would have to clean it right away, or else it would it would get stained the floors and it would be all like dirty. So I believe that when you do a remodelation, sometimes you think that it's going to take a week, a weekend or two, or a week or two, um, and you underestimate, the the consequences, or maybe um, the impact on the house, on your own routine. The days that I wanted to do the live stream with you guys, and these people had to keep working, or they had to do some a lot of noise. Obviously they cannot be quiet, and just a slow moving, they have to be noisy. um, so I will have to get interruptions as well. Hey Fluffy. But yeah, it's very, it gets on your nerves, I guess, when you do a remodelation. Then you see the results, and you are happy that you did it, because it's necessary. Um, yes, I'm a bit better. I hope I don't start coughing. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how, you know, um, as I beginning to talk, let's see how it goes. Um, yeah, is this is like a great, like, this is a great voice actually, like the best I think that I be having all these days. Um, Probably in Spanish you can hear me clearer, like near to my real voice, but in English it sounds different. It sounds lower. So yes. Last night, I don't know what happened, what is going on with the weather, but there were a lot of thundering in the sky, a lot of thunderings. Like, I swear I had to to extra cover the windows, because the lighting, like, there was a lot of lighting in the sky. Then it started to rain, but I never seen, like, from my window, when you look at the sky, to see that it constantly was, there was a lot of lighting in the sky. There was, like, I was a bit frightened. I was like, what is this? Like, it's so, and it didn't make a sound. It's not like it was a thunder. You make a strong sound. I was waiting for the sound, but it would keep showing up in the sky constantly for like 2 hours. I was a bit afraid. I must say, I was like, and I'm up here. And I'm up here, like I disconnected everything that I had on my bedroom. I disconnected everything. Um, but I decided, guys, that this winter, that in this season that I'm about to enter winter, in a couple of weeks, I decided I'm going to bring my bed and everything that is the bedroom. I'm going to bring it downstairs because I don't want any kind of, float situation with the ceiling, situation with water, situation with lighting up there. Like I prefer to be near the ground in the second floor. I prefer to be here, so if I have to run, it's faster. And also, so I can prevent that it doesn't happen to me what happened last year that I fell off the stairs. I know you guys remember that because it was slippery, because it was raining, because I was taking things downstairs, my hands were busy, and I usually do that when I want to multitask or I want to save a trip. I don't want to go up the stairs again. So I usually grab a lot of things and I go down carefully. But I decided that this 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 winter is going to be downstairs in the second floor. Um, I don't know how I'm going to make the furniture fit here, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. Hey, Samara, if you can't hear the thunder, it means it's far away. Even if you see lighting normally, I think. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Oh, the pollen. Oh, no. The pollen is so annoying. You're excited for the full moon in Scorpio. When is it? When is it going to happen, Samara? Is it soon? Hey, Chicholino. Next Monday. Okay. Yeah, it gives me time to recover because I'm feeling extra anxious because of that I lost my voice, that that we are getting there with the remodelation. We are, arranging a few things. The weather is not helping because there's a lot of humidity. So the walls are not drying correctly. They are not drying. The floor is not drying correctly. It's still a bit wet. It's um, especially the cement part. We use a lot of cement here to build the houses. Um, Brick and cement. Um, so, and those are necessary to cover the walls. So, when it rains, it doesn't, the humidity, it doesn't ruin, the foundation of the house. But it's taking longer to, you know, to dry. Um, but it's getting there, guys. I was telling people that probably next Sunday is I'm going to do the live stream on the new location, on the new room. So, this is probably going to be the last live stream. So I always say that it is going to be the last live stream. I said this when I had the bookshelf behind me because I was like, guys, we are moving upstairs because the room is ready. And yeah, we were celebrating and everything, and it was so spacious up there. But then I had to move back here because it was so hot upstairs, remember? But we had I believe we had like 2 months, almost 3 months of live streams up there. I know we had it because I was going through the live streams of 2024, and I believe we spent, you know a decent amount of months upstairs until the days got warmer here, and that it was noisy. Remember that you guys could hear the dogs bark and the children play, and there was party, there was music. Remember that there was a live stream that there was music. Oh my, we had so many moments. Like the live stream, sometimes I pick one randomly and I watch it, and I'm so amused, I'm so entertained by everything that goes on in the live stream. Except when in some of those I had to talk about health issues, and when I had issues with Luna's health as well, that those moments were not the happiest. They were very sad, and they were all about, you know health and going to the doctor, and all a sad story. But the other lessons were cool. We had a lot of fun. We always, just like the 4 or 5 people that we are on the live stream, we always have these amazing combos, and we make like 2 3 hours live stream of just laughing at each other's opinions. Yeah, there was a rough period. Yes, 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 yeah. It was. I believe it was for all of us. It's just that, because I was the one doing the talking, I would mention my issues, but I know that there was people that also were going through a lot of heavy subjects last year. I know it, and we had certain situations also in K-pop. So yeah. I also declare myself a new fan of Cat's Eye. I know that Samara has been recommending the girls and the group. Um, but I love the song. I love the new song. I love the MV. I love their performances. I have been watching some TikToks of theirs, and they are so fun, and it's so refreshing to see. They're so beautiful as well. So I was like, wow, like it's so exciting. I hope that they keep bringing, you know, more songs and you know, more things from the group. I like them. I like the girls as well. All of them seem very nice. Mm, yes. When I watched the studio too, I thought they were so good. Yeah, very bold performances. Yeah, they have another vibe that I'm like, this is so fast. This is so like, I don't know. They just have it. You know when you are so like um so hypnotized. It looks like I knew about them. I knew they were in this show that they were selected. I knew there was an Argentinian participant. I believe it's Celeste. Um, and I believe she does TikToks every now and then. I don't follow her, but I know that she talks sometimes about her experience. Um, but mm, yeah, it was rough out there for me too. Yeah, I know, I know, I know. Yeah, we were all, yeah. Yeah, I don't, what is going on? What is going on with this? Why so many people? I'm like, what? I didn't put, I it didn't, maybe because I mentioned certain people that I'm going to be reading for today. Yeah, guys, please help me, help me connect. We were talking um, with who I was talking at the beginning. Wait, I was talking to Saint Fool. I was talking to Saint Fool. We were talking, and we were like, she also had some health issues. So we were like, please, like, I feel like ever since Taurus season entered, I wasn't able to feel the prosperity or the connection with my body. Like, yeah, I'm connected, but not in a healthy way. Somehow, my body maybe is telling me to take more care of myself, probably. Um, but at the same time, I'm like, no, let's embrace the Taurus energy, please. Let's be abundant. Let's bring abundance. Let's bring prosperity. Let's bring beautiful things, beautiful experiences. Please, not health issues. Help us. um, Mother Earth, please help us. Help us. Um, um, Here we call it Pachamama, the Mother Earth. We call her Pachamama here. Um, it's like the goddess of Earth. Um, and but it's meaningful because I lost my voice in Toro season, so it makes sense because Taurus rules the throat, so it also is. Yes, I have it in here. No, my the numbers, Samara. I was looking at the numbers, and yeah, definitely, my channel is so small that if I stop posting for example, like a week, the numbers stop dropping very fast. Like, people move on very fast. They are like, okay, you're not giving us content, I'm out of here. um, the numbers are dropping when it comes to views and everything. So yeah, I do have to keep working very hard, on creating content, readings, keep updated about what's going on in K-pop or K-drama, which I have been doing, but these weeks I haven't been able to. And also because I use my voice. So if I don't have my voice, I cannot do anything. So yeah, it's not the same, like, like you type, like you have like a newsletter and you post it. I type it and I post it somewhere. I have to record with my voice. But I pulled a card for this Taurus season for me, and I got the card of the one that the oracle that says the keyword in Spanish, and I got the word um flow. I got the keyword is flow for this Taurus season. Just flow. This means that things are going to be easy, and I just have to flow with whatever appears. And I hate it. I don't like to flow, but yeah, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I have to let go of control. It is what it is. Also, I was watching talking about Cat's Eye, because I was watching a small clip of someone that I believe they were having like a live stream. I believe it was Daniela. It was Daniela and Manon. Is it Manon? This is Manon, right? I always write it down, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Um, and they were doing like they were making a toast. They were not with cups. It was more like with food. I believe they were eating like, I think that it was like pizza. They were eating pizza, slices of pizza, and they were doing like the gesture of a toast. Mano, mano. Ah, not Manon. Mano. Ah, pronounce it mano. Ah, okay. I knew I had it. Yeah, I knew. Um, and 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 Mano was like, she was like chin chin. She did like the sound chin chin, and Daniela was like, what, like, because I believe that Mano wanted to say like how we say cheers in Spanish, and 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 I think that Daniela was like, are you trying to say it in Spanish, or are you trying to say German? Because it's Spanish is not, no, we, like, she was like trying to tell Mano um um that it was salud. And yes, salud in Spanish is like a formal way of saying cheers. But chin chin is actually something that we do say here. It's Spanish. I mean, it's not a Spanish like Spain Spanish. It's more like a Latin American um, way of saying. It's like the sound that the glasses do when they clash together. That is like chin. So that's why when I remember when I was younger, when I was a child, we or when you are, drinking and with someone that you're you're very comfortable with that person and you want to be cute, you say chin chin. So it chin chin is okay. Chin chin is okay. She didn't say it wrong. It's okay. That's what I wanted to clarify from my experience of speaking Latin American Spanish, because she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. Ah, Tintin is French. I didn't know that. Oh, Fluffy. Yeah, maybe we copy from it, because yeah, it's like an expression. It's not like literally like, oh, it means cheers. No, but it's like a cute word, like Tintin. We usually, yeah, yeah, we say it like that. Yeah, I remember I used to say it a lot. Yeah. But yes, if you are, having drinks with important people, or and the things is like formal, and yes, it's salute. You say salute. Mm. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't think it's Latin American, because it doesn't sound like a word that we have. But I heard that it has to do with the sound of two cups, coming together. So maybe, because we do have, a lot of, influence from European countries, maybe they heard it from other people, from European people, and that's when they got it themselves. Yeah, I don't think it's Latin American because we don't. There's not an equivalent in Spanish of that word, but I think that it's like the sound that we are like, oh, it's chin chin because it is like that. Yeah, it's the sound. Yeah, it's a fun informal word. Yeah, it's like something that you do when you are comfortable, like especially in family, or I do it with children or with people that that you want to be cute, and it's a cute moment. It's a cute word. So when she said chin chin, I was like, yeah, she's like, I understood it. She like, I mean, me as a Latin American person, I understand what she was doing. Like I recognized the word, and I was like, yeah, we use it here too. I don't know other countries. I don't know other Latin American countries, but from what I read, people in the comment sections they were also referring that they use the word chin chin also. So maybe it's not just here; it's in other parts. But yeah, I understand that maybe for her she was like, no, that's not Spanish, and she's right, definitely. Is Daniela Spanish? Is she? I don't know where she's from. Is she from Spain or is she from Latin America? I'm bringing back the um, the Modern Witch, guys. The Modern Witch tarot deck. I have it forever, and I don't use it. I actually just have it for display. Um, and my friend, she was doing a review because she has like a good community of tarot in on Instagram, and she was doing a review of, I believe she bought like a cheaper version on AliExpress. And she was like, oh, I got the Modern Witch, and because I think that she got um she when it was this deck was so popular, she wasn't able to buy it from like the original one because you usually had to order it from overseas. um I did it on when we were on the pandemic. I did it, and I was like, I have the original, but it's sitting on my shelf, like on my bookshelf. I don't use it that much. I don't know why. I like it, it's pretty, but I don't use it that much. And she was like, no, why not, you have to use it. And I was like, yeah. Just that I have so many that I don't know. So yeah, she reminded me. Okay, I'm going to just start with the readings, guys. I've been using Tarot of the Divine for a while now. I barely use any other. Tarot of the Divine. I think that it's familiar, the name. I don't remember now, but Tarot of the Divine. I think I know which one it is. Yeah, it's beautiful. Taurus divine. It has a bunch of different cultures. I mean, it's so cool. Oh yes, please. Thank you. Yeah, for me, I'm like this. I usually go for the Rider White or the toss system. Um, but I have the decks that for me I know their texture when I shuffle them. I know how to treat them. I know like it's something that is very sensorial. It's very personal, and yes, I do have some that I'm like, I should, use those more often. For example, the other day, remember that I was using the Aquarius tarot deck. That's that's a tarot deck that I love. The Aquarius tarot deck. It's so beautiful, and I know there's people that actually they don't like it. They don't like the Aquarius tarot deck because it's the images, the drawings, I would say, is very different. It's not the typical, like it's not like there's some, it's not that detail in color and shapes, like this one. But it has its charm. For me, it has charms. I look at it and I'm like, that's a very original way of talking about that card. Um, so yeah, you got the survival with. I lost the Two of Pentacles from my Rider White deck, so I don't use it. Not that I mind not having the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is like, if you miss that card, it's like, oh, well, one less five, so we're going to get better readings. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles, yeah, it is the card that you're like, if you go missing, like I will not, I will not be looking for you. Just stay where you are. um, Too bad. uh, yeah, one day we should have like a chat about the cards in the tarot deck that we don't like, because we all have one. Sometimes, yeah, is the more popular ones, but you know if you have tarot, you know which one is the one that appears and you're like, oh, not you again. It doesn't have to be about like, oh, it's so because it's so negative. No, it can be actually because maybe it's complicated. Maybe it's a card that the meaning is really hard to associate, or sometimes it's an energy that you have trouble associating with the others. So yeah. Yeah, for me it's the Tower. No reason, I think. For me it's the Judgment card, because I noticed with time, um, that is literally, especially for famous people, is literally that they're going to be judged. They are going to be accused of something. Literally, it's not like, like, oh no, because it's like a calling, like people say, no, it's something that comes from the inside, the outside, something that happens, so you can take responsibility. It's more like judging. People will judge you. People will judge you. And if they're not judging you in front, in your face, then they're not saying it to your face, but they are thinking about it. So that's a card that with time I gotta be like, like, for personal readings also, but for personal readings is different, because I think that maybe the person that is not a celebrity has the potential to not go on the internet and read a forum or come across an article made about them. Yes, you can actually find out that someone has been talking bad about you, or get screenshots of another conversation, people talking about you, or creating a WhatsApp chat about you. But I think that for the famous person, the judgment literally comes, like, oh, full force, full force. Mm. Yeah, like at first, yes. At first, I was trying to not be literal with the judgment. Really, when I started reading for some people, some famous people, I was like, no, that's not. Just like you said, it can be a possibility for a rebirth. You getting rid of your old skin, and you realizing things about yourself. I mean, like, I don't want to be this anymore. Or maybe the person judging themselves, them being their own judge and being really harsh on themselves. But I noticed that every time someone is going to be in a scandal, or there's something is going to happen, or they're going to have issues with other people, the judgment always appears. And maybe for the kind of career that they have, the judgment feels like a whole sentence. Like, it feels like it comes to to rule you, and to stop any kind of possibility of you getting probably like a lesser judgment. The judgment is going to be really hard. It's really hard. Yes, yeah. The judgment is it doesn't have to be literal. Yeah, like in the, it's not usually, it's not read like that. Like, oh, it's going to be, you are going to be judged. But for some people, I noticed that before, there's something going on, the judgment always appears. So maybe it doesn't have to be like, oh, they're going to be in a scandal, or they are, going through a scandal. It's just judging for whatever they do. If they move like this, if they talk like this, if they look like this, like judgment 24/7. So yeah, it feels heavy. The two of swords, also the two of swords, it's this duality that I don't like. Is this duality, this a bit of denial of, like, yeah, I know, but I'm pretending like I don't know. um okay, I'm going to start reading for Baekhyun, for EXO Baekhyun. This is the readings for the Taurus people. Mhm. He got the wall card twice. So yeah, cycles as well. We start for vacuum, we start with the tower. Now that we were mentioning the tower, we have the tower, the lovers, the wall card, six of swords for vacuum, and four of wands. And then we have for him the wall card in this deck, that the keyword is embrace. Embrace. So yeah, I see also, because there's a lot of openness from Baekhyun's perspective this year. There's like, not just embrace, but there's also this openness of like, I'm going to receive with open arms whatever comes. I think that there's he is going through this, or maybe he will go through this very soon. The tower and the lovers, I think that these are very uncomfortable times. I don't know if he's dealing with, trying to put an end to a situation or something that he's going through. um but he's also trying to destroy these, like I was mentioning, the lovers, the duality, the two of swords, that I was like, I don't like. And I was going to mention also that the lovers for me is also these cards that I'm like, because yeah, it allows you to put two perspectives and be like, okay, this is what we have, this is what it is right now. But in the case of Baekhyun, just like I think that just like the earth sign that he is, he is very much ready to put an end to the duality. I think that he doesn't like this feeling of like, oh, I have to have one foot here and the other one there just in case. Like I think that there's something um, for for Baekhyun that maybe if he has this sort of business, or if he has, um, something, I don't know, I don't think that it's about justice or legal papers, but there's something about him taking control of this and maybe ending certain connections or certain situations in his life that are all about, being here and there, and being like in the middle all the time, or just like not knowing what to expect. There's something about him being like, I'm tired of also having to be double faced, because this is the Gemini card. So even though I don't want to call Geminis double faced, because they're not, but I think that he played for so many years, he played this game very well. He's a very intelligent person when it comes to business. So he knows that at some point, if he has to do it, he could do it one more year, a few months, But I think that there's something that circumstances has changed for Baekhyun. Maybe, he has decided to do something for himself, or he has made certain decisions that doesn't allow him this year to be that soft and understanding. There's something about him being like, I used to, be considerate and be like, okay, yeah, I guess you want me to be here, you want me to participate in this. And when I had free time, I sort of gave you my free time. I gave you my presence. I gave you my productivity, But now, now I'm cutting ties. I'm cutting ties. I'm cutting ties. Like I think that he doesn't want his energy to be all over the place. He just wants to belong to first of all, he wants to belong to a place, an environment that that suits his necessities, and also that does him well. He's so tired of being in the middle, being good with this person and being good with the other one, and just smiling and be, pleasant. He's like, I actually, this doesn't work for me anymore. I don't want to be that soft. I don't want to give in. There's something about him not wanting to be this adaptable. He's like, I don't want to be adaptable anymore. I better just stay where I want to be and do what I want to do when I want to do it, and and just take care of my own business, and and more gravitate towards a place, a situation where he can take the important decisions for himself and not others. So I think that he's done with being like, oh well, I guess I have to compromise, oh well, I guess I have to help this or assist this. He's like, no, things are different this year. Some things have been broken, maybe trust has been broken, and he's like, I don't want this for myself this year. So yeah, I'm deciding to embrace what is to come that is not dual. Like I want, a single road, a single view. I don't want two roads. I don't want to have to choose. I don't want to be in the middle. I don't want to be here and there, here and there. Like I want to be just, straightforward and just like, okay, this is me. This is where I'm heading, and just let me be. you know. I don't have to split my personality into something like this. Um, yeah, because with the two world, I wonder if he's doing like a world tour. Could it be that that Baekhyun wants to go worldwide? Maybe the fans know, but he's open to change. He's open to new ideas because I think that he got rid of something. I don't know if he had a sort of contract or there was something that was he felt that it was holding him back, or maybe the decisions that were made were so confusing for him. He's like, this is not working for me. This is not working for my image. This is not working for what I want to accomplish. I want to be, let me go. Like, I want to be free to do what I want to do. And he wants to explore. He wants to explore the world. He wants to see what new regions, new cities, new experiences, what they have to bring him. So he's so open, with his arms open. Also the world card, we often in the world card we have a naked lady. So there's something about nakedness also, like I'm naked, I'm showing myself to the world, so watch me. And I'm coming clean about what I want to achieve. And I'm ready to be to take as many opportunities as I can. So probably this has to do with traveling or doing different activities in different places. Um, Maybe if he's going to release something, his content or maybe his work is going to be much more inclusive. Maybe he's going to be surrounded by people of different cultures, and he's going to bring people that are different, or people that can teach him to be this open, because for him it's like, I want to explore what's out there. Now that I have the possibility, I want to go there. I want to expand. I want to see what's out there. And I also want to have fun with this. This year is all about, like, let life guide me to wherever I can, because I want to grab on these experiences. And of course, since the world card is not and this is something that I said for a lot of idols in the past few months, when they have the world card and the wheel of fortune. These are cycles. These are, all about, the world is round. So it's all about, like, probably what Baekhyun wants to accomplish as an artist, or what he wants to do for the fans, or maybe give you guys content and experiences and maybe concerts. Maybe they're going to be very short. It's not going to be like a whole tour that is going to take 2 years. No, if there's going to be seasons, it's going to be separated in seasons, or him being in different countries, or depends on the season. It's not going to be that long and that prolonged experience. It may be a fan sign, something very brief, but it's going to be full of different activities for him and the fans to connect. So they're going to be very meaningful. And also he's learning from all of this experience. He's learning, okay, what does work over there and what it doesn't. So it's all, him trying and see what is good for him, for his career, and he wants to stay inspired, of course. He's looking for inspiration. Maybe this is why he's looking outside, like he's looking for maybe foreigners, or he's looking for brand new options. Um, but yeah, I cannot be like, oh, this is, he's going to be able to do all the countries, all the cities. No, he's just a man. Like, let's be considerate to, to his body, his health, his voice, and let's not expect him to be, because every time that I say, oh, it looks like he could go worldwide, everyone is like, oh, is my city going to be there? I don't know. I don't know. I hope everyone gets the opportunity to see him, but he's just a man. So sometimes, going on tour is very draining. Is very draining. So yeah, if you have the chance to see him, enjoy it. But also, move on with the next proposition that he does, because I see him like he's like, yeah, I don't want to just travel and do concerts. I want to also add another experiences for the fans so they can join, so they can participate. I want all of them to participate, but he also has to regulate, like, it's all about him and he's just one person. So he's like looking for opportunities. He's open to the experiences. He's like, okay, if you guys want to see me there, I will go. But just be mindful that I'm just a person. Um, but it's going to do very well, actually. We have the Six of Swords and the Four of Wands. So whatever he goes or whatever he does, he's going to be well received and he's going to be celebrated. This year is going to be very successful for him. But not just successful because I don't see like money or, there's something here that I'm like, it's not so much about money and reputation and things. I think that for him, it's all about, maybe also having fun. There's something about him wanting to have fun. This is why I feel like he's sort of cutting ties um, with um, with people that he felt like they were holding him back, because they were like, oh yeah, we would love to give you this, but you also have to go over there. So let's see, always pulling him every time he wants to go somewhere or do something on his own. They are calling him back and be like, no, 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 remember, you have to be here. So I think that he was cutting ties because of this. He wants the freedom to keep advancing. The Six of Swords also, like, I want to travel, I want change, I want to be somewhere that I never been. Like, give me new experiences. Like, I want to see what's out there. And the Four of Wands is also having fun and being well received. Also probably Baekhyun is feeling like he wants to have fun. He wants to probably be surrounded by people that can teach him to have fun in a spontaneous way. Maybe spending time with, yeah, strangers, but people of his own age, people that are more connected with the simple side of life, and just, um, going places, being, in nature, and just sit there and just enjoy each other's companies. I think that he also wants to go out more. He probably wants to be more social. Um, and I don't know, maybe he can do content about this, and also the Six of Swords and the Four of Wands is giving me that probably people on the internet are going to be talking about him, about who he hangs out with or who he's seen going out with. If he's like, I believe that there's something about this summer, or I know that they're about to enter summer, but there's something about him being seen frequently out, or being out there with maybe other celebrities or other famous people or just his friends. But people are very interested and they're going to be talking on the internet. I don't think that it's going to be negative talking, honestly. I think that it is more about probably, showing a part of him being able to celebrate or being seen in a more authentic environment of him just having fun with people of his age, and just being happy. There's something about him also feeling social, like he wants to go places, or he wants to go out, or he wants to, I don't know, go to bars, or just, um, just have fun outside, not so much like, oh yeah, I'm inside this building. So he's changing, he's adapting, he's setting himself free from something. I think that I don't know about Baekhyun, if he is like an introvert or if he is like a very social person. I don't know about him. Maybe the fans do know about his character. But this year, with the card of embrace and the wall card that they are all naked, there's something about him, really being very honest and very straightforward about, like, yeah, I want to go out. And if you see me and if you caught me on camera and if you're recording me, just having fun and being a man of my age, do it. Post it online. Do it. Uh. Yeah, I think that he wants to change. He wants to go out. He wants to go out. Yeah, yeah. I think that but he probably is also, maybe there's something about his environment changing. Maybe he's changing his group of friends. There's something that he changed. I think that also maybe his his group of people or his close cycle of friends with the lovers. There's something that is very is dual. I'm not saying that his friends are fake nor anything, or that the people around him are not loyal. But there's something about, maybe he wants to say yes to certain experiences, and they hold him back. They are like, "Do you think that you want to do that? um I think that you shouldn't do that. Like, let me do some research." Probably they do it because they want to take care of him, or they want to, take care of his image. But probably he's like, I'm tired of you guys waiting for you guys to give me permission, or like a heads up, like, "Oh yeah, you're free to go," or "Yeah, you can go." Like, you know. Yes. They stay at home so fans don't come looking for them. Yeah. And also maybe, his people are very overprotective of him, are very overprotective of him. But this year he doesn't want to miss any experience. He's like, "I'm ready to go. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. Show me where to go, please." Mm. But with the tower, definitely something happened. Something happened with certain connections, or with a certain routine that he had. He had to destroy it. Or it was destroyed because there were some things that weren't adding up. Yeah, I guess, yes. Mm. Yes, he often gets the Emperor and the King of Wands as well. So yeah, that Aries in his chart is very straightforward. So to him, you're not going to fool him because he's very straightforward. And the more emotional he gets, the more attached he gets to something, the more straightforward he is. Okay, I'm going to continue with Cat 7 Bambam. I wanted to pull 5 cards, but I can see that there's a card hidden behind the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. So one more extra card for Bambam. Okay, this one that was hidden. We start with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. Justice for Bambam. Page of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Lot of Pentacles. Three of Swords. He's definitely working on something because a lot of Pentacles. And we have the card of the Sun. The keyword is shine. So yeah, very bright. Also, his spread is very bright, except this three of swords in at last. It's just that he's working really hard, definitely. Like he's this year is going to still be a year of a lot of effort for him. I see him very studious, maybe learning some things new. He really wants this new chapter in his life or in his professional life to be successful. um he wants to be more optimistic, I would say. But it's very interesting how he has these two pages. I think that there's something very interesting about Bambam's energy is that he still has a long way to go, I would say. I don't remember if he's the Magne. I believe he's one of the youngest, right? Because I think that his energy feels very amateur. And I know he has been doing this for a long time. I know that I believe from what I heard from him in an interview, or when he did this YouTube, when he had this his YouTube, in interviews in his YouTube channel. Um, I think that he has been doing this from a very young age. But the cards here, it's like he still is in this process of him, you know, um, he's putting his heart into this. He's definitely doing his best. He's loving every part of this, but he's still very young. He's still very young. He's still very naive also about certain things. I don't know why. I don't know why. Um, because I can see that he really is putting all the effort, just like everyone. Like there's not a card that gives me like, oh, the man is lazy, or the man is not seeing possibilities, or even when it comes to studying, or when it comes to rehearsals, when it comes to maybe if he has to create something, or if he has to buy something to when it comes to resources to make his music or his own work. We do have money. There's a lot of success or abundance or prosperity for Bambam. So, but maybe there's something that it feels very naive about him, I would say. Um, that maybe there's something that he's not contemplating, and I don't know what is it. I don't know what is it. Because he seems so excited this year, so he's loving this whole process of working, rehearsing, being better and better and better at what he does. He's And also with the justice, there's a lot of balance inside of him. There's a lot of balance. He's really trying his best to, you know to not um get greedy, I would say. There's this level of regulation also. So I think that he's also very realistic about his expectations. He's very realistic about where he is at this entertainment business. Um but he's doing well. He's doing what he has to do to keep being relevant, or to keep being active. He's doing everything correctly. It's just that I wonder if people see him like this very young, inexperienced person. I wonder if maybe the audience baby him a bit, or they don't. It's like it seems like the audience is not capable of seeing him, like like, I don't know how old he is at this time, but they're like, oh, but he's the youngest, and yeah, it's because he's the youngest, or it's because he's the baby, or is, there's a lot of baby here. And I think that honestly, his energy seems very youthful. So I wonder if, there's a lot of overprotection over him, that honestly I think that he has good people around him, because there's something about them letting him work. Like, I think that when I say baby, I don't think that there's people doing things, or working for Bambam, and leaving Bambam. No, you have to rest, because you are the baby, like go and take a nap. No, it's just that there's this, I would say there's this feeling of like, yeah, you cannot make it, because actually you still, are very inexperienced. There's something about them calling him inexperienced in a lot of things, because I have the page of cups and I have the page of pentacles. So there's something about them. I don't know if it's comparing them to other artists or maybe his members, and then be like, yeah, but because he's not like the others, that the others are like more experienced in this and they have this. But actually I see that Batman is always working on being better. So I'm like, where is his productivity going, and why is no one appreciating it? And also I think that he sort of sees it, because we have the three of swords at the end. So there's this bittersweet feeling that it could come up every once in a while, that even if he tries his best and he does the work and he delivers a great performance and he does well with numbers, there's in the back, there's always this very, this sorrow of like, they really don't appreciate me. And I gave it my all. Like, I started over like a lot of people. Um, I think that it's not about, lack of resources. I think that he does have it, but maybe, he doesn't have the right advisors, I would say, because I see him very like him doing everything alone, like him teaching himself. This is what is giving me. It's giving me genius child, because I have these two pages, and they're working and they're getting results. So he's sort of like being like, yeah, I'm going to, study this on my own, and I'm going to do this on my own, and I'm going to talk to the fans about this. And he's like initiating the whole process. He really is someone that has the initiative. It's just that it feels very maybe inexperienced or immature. Maybe people see it like, this should be better curated, or there should be more people analyzing this that you just shared, because I see him that he does everything. um and maybe there's the burden. I don't see that it's a burden, but somehow, him also with the justice, maybe there's something that he knows that this year he has to regulate his his need to be productive, and his need to give it all to the fans, or to give the fans new content, or to give the fans, more fun content or experiences. He seems very positive, but behind all of this, there's this sadness. There's this sadness of like, I did it all by myself, and you guys like, I don't think that you guys liked it. Um, and it feels very lonely, because I see him just getting into territories of maybe, you know, him arranging his own work without maybe not knowing much about it, but he's like, I'm going to do it myself, because I don't have another person that does it. It feels like he's the one that does everything. Like, he's the one that brings the idea. He's the one that insists that, okay, this is how we have to do it. Um, because I search information, because I can also see him like getting into school or getting into classes to learn certain skills so he can keep producing. Um, but even though it's going to do well, there's this feeling that is very amateur, and maybe, it feels a bit, sad for him at the end, being like, I did everything myself. I try not to spend that much money, and not to be that, crazy with expenses. Um, he's also, maybe he has people working for him. He's also very organized about, like, okay, I have to give them their payment, and not, he's very, like, his heart, it's in his career, definitely. It's just that, maybe he needs a hand. Maybe he needs someone older, more experienced, that can help him out. Because honestly, this year, I don't see it. I think that probably if there's people that are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to help you, it's all it's all speech. It's all to be nice. I don't see someone coming to the rescue for Bambam. I think that is him, and maybe he has his people. It's him and them working long hours to get things done. Um, so, but I do see that it's all him, and maybe, he could have, because of all the pages in here, he could have also very young people, inexperienced people working for him as well. And this also can be a bit like, yeah, maybe you should hire more professionals and not the young people that are good at TikToks, just more professional, older people. I don't see any figure of authority here. So I'm like, what is going on? Why? Like, everyone feels very excited to be part of this. But I feel it like, like there's this feeling of like, we did all this and, it wasn't appreciated. And we have the card of shine as well, So I think that at the end, Bambam has the possibility to shine this year. This year it seems like he's getting ready for something. Not on. It could be with God 7, but I'm reading for him, so I'm seeing more his individual activities. Like, he is always like the center of attention. Everything shines because he shines. But at the same time, there's this feeling of like, maybe he should hire other kind of people around him that can give him certain advices, because I see very young energy here, and even though they're, what they want to do, they mean well, but probably the outcome is not going to be well received. The outcome is going to be okay because there's money, there's budget, but it's going to be a bit disappointing. But with the card of the sun, there's something about Bambam's potential. He is the sun. So, he should, watch out, you know, do more research about your team, who is working for you, what is their role, what they're doing. Learn to delegate as well. With the justice card, it's like remain being fair. Be fair to yourself. Like, don't overdo it yourself. Like, ask for help, delegate. This is why you're hiring people, so you can give them things to do. Because, yeah, he is a star. With the sun card, definitely there's potential of him. Maybe his content will be, or him as an artist will have the opportunity to shine whatever he does. But I think that it's stressful to see that he's surrounded with a lot of young energy, inexperience, and they're running, they're going everywhere, like researching and studying, and he is studying, and everyone, but the result is not that good. So ah, hey Dania. Yeah, it seems like everyone babies him. Yeah, that's what I wanted to. I'm like, why? Okay, I'm going to continue with IU for this 2025. Wow, definitely like Taurus people, they are getting rid of a lot of limitations. They are getting rid of a lot of limitations in their way. They are taking their blindfolds off. They are taking all the no's, all the 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 obstacles. I would say all the you know um, they are removing everything. They are like getting rid of everything that is getting in their way. And I think that this is so amazing. This is so amazing. Because I seen it for Baekhyun, that he got the tower and he got the lovers. And for IU, we start with the death card. Death card, Eight of Swords. We have the Knight of Wands in the middle. The Magician, Ace of Pentacles, and we have the card of the Fool, Trust. So definitely Ayu is liberating herself from something. I don't know what happened or what is going to happen, but she's coming full force for whoever or whatever is sort of like getting her um in a place of stagnation, or she felt like this person or this situation is holding her back. She's ending connections, she's ending situations that she felt like she was trapped, or maybe her own mentality, maybe her own mindset, or maybe old beliefs that she had about a certain situation. And now, there's a new way of seeing things that it feels like something that interrupted in her life or in her energy, and she's no longer the same person. She got rid of a lot of limited beliefs. um I think that um something changed Ayu, and I wonder maybe if it's an experience, if it's meeting someone that inspired her to do not think like this. This is not how things should go. These are different times. You're not alone. Or if she had a grudge against someone, if there was something pendant with someone from the past, somehow her not being able to move on from this, or her feeling trapped, maybe in her own career, or maybe dealing with difficult people also, or maybe trauma. It feels very, very deep. It feels very personal. It feels like it's her mindset more than, oh, I had a fight with a friend that was toxic. No, I think that this is something that comes from her own mentality, and she was able to liberate herself. She was able to cut that cord and be like, okay, I will not see this like this again. And now I'm seeing things differently. Now I'm experiencing a sort of rebirth, and now nothing can stop me. I'm unstoppable. This year, definitely, with the Knight of Wands. So if you don't like IU, or if you have something against IU, she's going to come for you, because I think that she's getting revenge. Like, I don't want to say like revenge, but there's something about her coming full force. Maybe it's for the haters, or if it's for people that have done her wrong in the past. But she's so merciless, and she's so fast moving. She's so fast moving. She's like, here I come, and she's so proactive about this. I think that she's not wasting any second of 2025 to actually, like, become this, like, very, very, bold kind of warrior. It's like, okay, if you done something wrong, I'm going to call you out. Or if you, somehow were like a blockage in my life, I'm going to go and confront you, and I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to act on this. Or if she has to, probably, I don't know, if she has to maybe, bring the justice. I don't see the justice here, but there's something about her just being like, I'm going to follow you, I'm going to pursue you, and you're going to pay for what you've done. And she feels like so energized with this passion. It feels like a very passionate feeling of like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. um and I think that also this means probably getting something that she wants for herself. I don't think that is recognition, because she does have it, but maybe, it's about, um maybe there's another important project that she wants to be in charge of this, or she wants to create, or she wants to participate in this very actively. So I wonder if this is hers, if there's something about her coming up with. I don't think that is music. It could be music, but I think that is more, it has to do with the movement of the body and the action of the body, and how you put your body to work. So I wonder if is she going to compete with someone, like, um, but she's going towards an objective very fast. She's like, now that I'm free, I'm going towards my next objective, and it's going to be very successful. For me, it's like it could be a movie or a new drama, a new K drama, because we have the magician and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So Ayu is not wasting any time. Anytime. Whatever she wants, she's going to get it this year. She's going to get it. She feels so, like, active, like this, so woken up. I would say, like, she woke up. This doesn't feel Taurus at all. This feels more like a bull out of control, or like, someone opened the fences and she just ran, because she's so fast. She's so fast, and she's so, I want to say the word unforgiven. She's so unforgiving. She's not going to forgive people who done her wrong. So I don't know who these people are. I don't see the justice, but whoever this is, they're going to get their karma, and she's going to make sure that, this is going to be known. This is going to be, you're going to see her participate in this. She's not going to hide and send someone to give a message. No, it's going to be her. She's going to have to give a statement or something. I think that she's defending herself also, probably, very, like, just being very assertive about this, because maybe, it feels like, when you cannot get out of your house, or when you feel like you cannot move because someone is, like, you know um is getting in the way of, your process, not process, of your progress, not process. That's how I feel, that she got rid of this. So, I don't see a person, but, it could be person, people. And she's like, now no more. So now I have all the energies to go out and do things for me and defend myself, and I feel free. Um, Also very energized, all about, putting the body to work. But she's going to be very successful this year, very successful. Like, I wonder if she's like, if there's a something of hers that is not just music, because I don't feel it like music. I feel it like it's bigger than music. I feel that it could be like a movie. Could it be? And with the magician, there's something about her pulling the strings, or her having the initial idea. Um, um, and maybe also this being a success because she's involved in the process. So she's also like this magnet of good luck and prosperity because she is involved in this, or is her idea. Um, very good. I like it. I like it. And yeah, with the Fool, the card of trust. She's able to trust again. She's able to trust again, to be able to open up. Again, like I said, when I talked about, when I read for Baekhyun, that I got the wall card, that the wall card, is this person with the open arms that it says embrace, whatever it comes, embrace it. And here with the card of trust, you see this young woman also like spreading her arms, so there's this very liberating and free poster of like, I'm no longer like this. I'm no longer like this. I'm free because I want to be free and I want to trust this new beginning. So this is so liberating. This is so amazing, and is much more important than what I can say with words. I think that for her this is very important. This liberation. So I wonder what is it about. I don't see cards that indicate that maybe you're going to hear about it, but maybe it's a personal struggle of hers. Maybe it's a personal affair of hers that is finally come to a conclusion, to an ending, and this is why she can start over finally. I don't see, I don't see her talking about it because I think that the only cards that I see of communication is the Eight of Swords. But for her, this is like a new, a new beginning. All of these are new beginnings. Hmm. Honestly, Taurus people's energy in those readings is pretty inspiring. See, it's so like I was like, oh my god, they make me want to get up and do things, and keep advancing because they don't feel slowed down at all. They are not being slowed down. They are like getting is their season, is their year basically. It seems their energy feels like let's go, let's push it, let's push it. They reckless. Okay, I'm going to continue with Yoshi of Treasure. Yoshi is tired. He's like, give me something to do. He's so tired. Okay, Yoshi of Treasure. We have the Wall card for him. Have the Page of Swords. Have the Four of Cups. Have the Ten of Cups. And the Six of Wands. And from the other deck, we have the card of New Vitality, Ace of Wands. So yeah, there's going to be a new passionate beginning for him. But I think that things are slowly moving for him in his own perception. I guess he really wants to make a very impactful, and also he wants to probably keep working. um he wants to do things differently, with much more passion, with much more vitality. Maybe he feels like things has been very slowed down, very slow, very routinary for him. I don't think that it's about the group, but at the same time, it's about him and how he has been transiting this, being an idol. Um, with the Walker and the Page of Swords, I think that a lot of things have changed. The beginning of this year, a lot of things have changed for the group, for him, but he also is very much opinionated. Maybe he's much more involved in the group. Or maybe he's much more involved in writing songs or writing lyrics. But there's a sense of also of complaining, and also the wall card is giving me like he comes from 2024 with this energy of like, I cannot wait for us to turn page and just be over. I don't know if it's with the old concept or with the old ways or with the prior comeback that we had. There's something with Walcott and him as the Page of Swords calling out, certain things of like, I want us to start fresh, new. Like, give me something new. Like with the Walker, there's something about like, I don't know if they had like also um like concerts overseas, like international worldwide events, and he's sort of complaining about this. He's not complaining about going overseas. He's complaining about, I don't know if there was some interruptions in the way, or there was some errors, if there was some obstacles, that he was like, I wish we could put this behind us and advance with a new concept. Like, when are we going to move on? Like, there's something about him being like, I'm tired of um sort of having to do the same songs over and over. We have so much material. I have so many ideas. I have so many things that I want to do. Like, can we please close the chapter and move on? So I think that there's something with the Walker. I think that, I don't know, did something happen with the international fandom, or did something happen because he's sort of also coming to the defense of the international fandom? Maybe like there's something about him being like, this wasn't right. This wasn't right. Or I feel like he felt like they didn't do the closure of an era the way he was thinking about it. He was like, we didn't do this closure properly. We ended up like, I don't know, um, he felt like there was some things left pendant. Um, and this is why there's a bit of anger in him. There's a bit of like, every time you ask me for what I think about this, I think that this was awful, or I think that this wasn't right, this wasn't professional, this is not what I wanted for the group. Is he a leader? Is he one of the leaders? I know they have so many, but um, because he really starts the reading like complaining a lot. And I think that when I say complaining, I don't mean it like he's being annoying. I think that he's just pointing out certain things that he wasn't satisfied with. He was like, we should have been smarter about these things. Um, or maybe he had to explain himself at some point with the fans. And in the Page of Swords, it feels like a cry for help. The Page of Swords also feels like someone that has a lot to say, wants to communicate, wants to explain themselves, but at the same time, he feels so small in this business, or maybe in the way they handle things, that he's like, I always have something to say, but you guys don't listen, or you don't take into consideration my ideas. So he's a bit annoyed at that, and the Four of Cups in the middle. There's this at the moment, or at least for the next 2 months, there could be a feeling of him just, you know, not being connected with whatever the company is giving them. He's doing his part. He's there, of course, but there's something about him being like, you always give us this, or you always do this for us. It feels like, maybe the company is trying to make up for something with them, and they always give them certain things or certain activities to do. And he's like, I know why you're doing this, and I'm not happy. Like, or give them presents, for example. And he's like, I don't want your presents. I want to work. I want to be excited about my work. I want to feel excited for the future. Right now, I'm not feeling excited. I'm not feeling inspired. Maybe they are being given like a song or a concept or something that feels very like not them, like, or maybe it feels very low quality, or maybe it doesn't feel enough. There's this feeling of like, yeah, whatever you're giving me, I'm not, I'm not happy with what you're giving me. It's like, yeah, I know you're giving me something, but you know, I'm not happy. Like, I know you want me to react a certain way, but I'm not happy. Um, but there's something. This is why I was wondering. He's like a sort of like a leader, because it seems like all these, trying to get him to calm down and just not be this, apathic or this dissatisfied. They want him to cheer up. There's something about they want him to feel better. I think that the company pays attention to him, but he feels a bit annoyed. He is a bit angry. He's like, not angry. I think that not anymore. He's not angry. He's just moody. When you're moody, like, yeah, that you gave me is not going to convince me. No, no. See that I told you about some Taurus artists being, in this poster of open arms, like I'm going to receive everything. Well, in this case, for the first part of the year for Yoshi, it feels like he's going to be cross arms. He's like, I don't want whatever you're giving me. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't care. So he is different. His poster, it feels a bit like, you know, but he must have his reasons, of course. But then, things I would say the second half of the year, it feels happier. It feels maybe when once summer comes, and they get together much more, it feels like the group is going to be much more happy and united. We have the Six of Wands, so again, them also being in the spotlight, maybe winning some awards, winning recognition, people talking about them being able to go on a stage, them being able to perform, being able to, show themselves, show what they're good at, and then be like, I think that whatever he's fighting for or he's like complaining about is not for him. There's something about Yoshi energy that I feel like he's speaking for everyone, even though no one is asking him to speak up. But there's something about him like, I'm tired. I want us. I want more for us, for the group. I want the group. I want us all to be happy. Not just for a few. I want us all to be happy and to be satisfied. And I think that they will get it, definitely. But I think that this happiness, it comes hand with hand with activities. So if you don't give them something to do, of course that these guys will get moody because you're wasting their potential. So maybe there's going to be, maybe the fans already know if they're going to have a comeback soon. But why do I feel like maybe this, if they release something now, is going to feel a bit like incomplete? I don't know, or not like them. Or maybe, if they have promotions, it seems like the initial promotions are going to be very brief and they're going to be interrupted. because maybe they're focusing on some other groups that are not treasure, and this is why he's annoyed. But we have the Ace of Wands, that is his new vitality. So I think that, the second half of the year is going to be much more active for them, and it's going to be much more activity for the group. An activity or maybe a comeback that feels much more genuine and even much more demanding physically of them, of them having to put much more force and energy, but it feels much more like their style, and maybe, this other thing that they are, giving the guys, it feels very low in energy. So he's like, this doesn't represent me. But he's going to be happy at the end. It's just that maybe he wants equality. He wants all of them to be happy, um, and not just a few. I think recently they had changed the old leaders, Hyunsuk and Jihoon with Junkyu and Asahi. Okay. He's giving me like while I'm reading for him, I'm like, he's giving me like leader vibes. So I wonder why I'm sensing that. Maybe his opinion matters a lot. Um, Maybe that's why. Okay, I'm going to continue with Hyunsuk, the other Taurus in Treasure. Hmm. He got the card of the wall like Baekhyun. And he also got the Six of Swords like Baekhyun. And he got the Tower too. So he feels very similar to Baekhyun's reading. We start for Hyunsuk, we start with the Six of Pentacles, have the Emperor, have the Fool in the middle, have the Tower, and we have the Six of Swords. And then we have the Wall card that is says Embrace. So yeah, he's another Taurus that he feels much more liberated. He feels much more liberated. It's just that there's something about Hyunsuk that, with the Six of Pentacles and the Emperor, definitely this is a member that, even though I know, I think that you mentioned, Rafi, something about them changing the leaders. Hyunsuk, it's someone that, even though you change the roles, he will always be seen like the leader, or he will always have this authority, over the members, even though if he's not, executing this role actively, but he's seen like this very, not authoritarian. I don't want to say like, oh, he's authoritative. But there's something that his presence is felt, and especially because he's really good at, with the Six of Pentacles, there's something about balance and there's something about fairness and also give and take. He probably is really good with the members. He's like, every time you need something, you talk to him, and you're like, I need this from you, and he will get it. He will get it for you, definitely. Or he will talk to whoever he has to talk to get this level of, fairness, and also to make all of them feel heard and feel seen. Um, he's a very special figure, I would say. I want to change the mic if I have time, because I don't want this. I hope this doesn't run out of battery very soon, but I tried to change it for the other one and it doesn't work. Oh yeah, I don't know. Once this runs out, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have another one. Um, but yeah, there's something just very definitely he leaves a mark when it comes to how he ran things for the group. Um, or maybe he's very respected, like when it comes to when his role in the company, he's a very respected idol. But in the middle, we have the fool. So there's something about him being like, yeah, I am all of this. I was in charge. I was the one that kept everything in order, kept everyone in check, everything so nice. But now this is like a new me. He's sort of letting loose. He's like, you know, now that there's changes, this was the old me. I took the responsibilities. I did everything that I had to do. I was responsible. And now I'm like, this is like a new me. This is new life, new me, new energy. And he's like setting himself free from any restriction. He's like liberating himself. He doesn't care what others think of him. So he's going to do him. He's going to do what he wants to do, let loose, be much more playful, be much more, eccentric. I would say there's something about him wanting to. He's so excited for this new beginning. He's like, finally, I don't have to worry about, if this gets along with the other one or if this, I don't have to receive any kind of feedback, listen to different sides. Like, no, I'm just, this is like a brand new beginning for me that I want to make the most of this. I want to make the most of this. Um, with the Tower and the Six of Swords, could it be that he, because the Tower and the Six of Swords together is giving me people talking on the internet about this new attitude of his, about him being so liberated or him being so maybe, embracing this new era, and him just, being much more relaxed, or him, maybe. Yeah, I don't have another mic. I don't have another mic, so you guys will have to hear me like this. Sorry. And also my voice is not working, but I hope that you guys can hear me anyways, because this is all that I have. Because the other mic is not functioning well. I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why. Is the other one is acting crazy? Oh, now it turned on. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me well? Yeah, I know. I know. I remember when I first started the live stream. I don't know if you guys have been with me since the beginning. So remember my first live stream, I didn't have a mic. I didn't have a mic. So then I wonder, I always wonder like what's up with that. Yeah, of course the quality of the audio wasn't that clear. you can hear my voice, but you can also hear like the sound of the environment, I would say. Um, but I do remember that I didn't have any mic back then. I started just like this. Um, so yeah, sorry for the interruption. So yeah, there's something about, maybe there could be some people talking on the internet about this change of his. Um, and people just maybe not liking it, and being like, like, yeah, this doesn't suit you. The change doesn't suit you. I like you better. So when you have the Tower and the Six of Swords, it's like, I want to advance to a new role, to a new era, to a new me, and you guys don't let me. Or you guys make a fuss of the changes that I'm going through. So, and also Six of Swords is the internet. So could it be that people are like, we like you more in this position, or maybe them comparing maybe his style of leadership with the others. It could be because he's very much present here, like the emperor. He has his style, and probably when this year maybe they're going to be displaying much their new responsibilities, or you're going to see more of the others, and just people maybe are not going to be that happy about it. They don't want him to change. There's something about the fans don't want this member Hansuk to change. It's like they don't care about the others. It's like, you can add more additional leaders. We don't care, but just keep Hansuk. So, but for him, it's like, he's like, well, I'm going to be, less responsibilities for me. Yay. Like, I'm so excited for this. He's like, I cannot wait. This is like a break for me. But yeah, with the world card, the card of embrace, whatever criticism or whatever people say about him or about the group, he's just like, he's embracing the change. He's another one of the members, just like I mentioned, you know, um, Yoshi. He really wants a new change. He wants a new start. So this year is going to be very experimental for him. It's like, whatever comes, opportunity, experiences, I'm open. I'm open. And even if you guys give me like a negative feedback, or if you don't like this about me, okay, I receive it. I will take it. I will embrace it anyways. But I think that he's so much free this year. There's something just that it feels very spontaneous. And with this, I don't think that he's a guy that he's not spontaneous while being a leader. It's just that maybe for him, this is like holiday. This is like a vacation. Not so much for what he has to do. I think that there's something about him having to listen to different opinions and people talking all day, that he gets tired. Mentally, he's like, I want silence. Like, or I just want to put my my headphones on and not listen to anyone complain. He probably receives a lot of complaints, or people go to him to tell him stuff, and he's like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I understand. Yes, yes. Yeah, sometimes he's just tired. He wants to evade himself to another world. He's like, please give me vacation. I need silence or good music to listen to. Mm, it's less now. That's pretty much it. I want the mic that everyone has, that all these fancy channels have. The one that has the the one that is like a podcast mic. Um, that one I want, because then it would be like at a distance, and I wouldn't have to carry anything on me. I would be much more free to shuffle. noticed that, I do follow some people that especially here in my country, there's some people, famous YouTubers, that they talk about, news or in the entertainment, Argentinian news, what celebrities are doing, or politics and all of this. And I'm looking at their content because they are super popular, and they spend like 2 hours, or they have these live streams on Twitch where they just talk. They just say random things, like opinions, or they read certain, like what is happening on Twitter, or what someone said on Twitter, and they start like discussing about that. And I'm like, for me, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, because when I'm so used to like having something productive to do. Like, I mean, in my live stream, I usually start, ranting a bit, and I start talking about myself in the first half of the first hour. For example, I talk a lot about myself, or we talk among each other. We talk about us. But then eventually I center, and I'm like, okay, I'm here to read cards. But I don't know if I would be able to just, have like the ability to do a live stream of just talking and not doing something. I would feel very empty. I would be like, okay, what do I do? Um, because I don't know. Like, I love to talk. You know that I'm very talkative, but I'm like, wow. Some people just talk, just talk. For me, I have to do something. Otherwise, I feel like I'm not being productive. Okay, I'm going to continue with Big Bang Daesung. He's 2025. See the Eight of Swords for the Taurus people? The Eight of Swords came out a lot. I'm starting to see a pattern. He also got the Death card. It's time for the Taurus idols or artists to release certain things this year. Okay, for Daesung, we start with the card of the Emperor. Eight of Swords, the Sun in the middle, Page of Wands, King of Cups. And we have the Death card, that the keyword is release. So yeah, a year of transformation, a year of release. Yeah, I think that honestly, looking at these cards, I'm like, this man is very loved. Like, the audience loves him very much. He's very loved. He's very loved. It's just that I think that, I mean, I think that he had always been very loved. It's just that there's something about him that had to change, and that is going to keep changing and transforming this year as well. Because we have the Emperor and the Eight of Swords. So I think that he could be a bit codependent of others when it comes to showing up in the entertainment world. You know, there's something about him. He was able probably finally to, you know, to sit in the, you know, in the emperor throne and choose, you know, take over the leadership of his career or of his image or of his creation. You know, I think that he also had some limited beliefs, or he had some wrong ideas, or some, you know, some perceptions that would limit his actions when it comes to maybe him doing more work, more solo work, or him, you know, maybe postponing certain things and be like, no, I'm going to wait for the others, or I'm going to, I'm not going to do this on my. Thank you. Thank you, Fluffy. Now I unplug it. Um, so somehow this card is like, you know, you don't have to wait for anyone. You can do the solo work. You can sit on your throne. You can sit on your own autonomy and release things by yourself and just show up, just you. You don't have to, you know, depend on the other members. Like, you can do you and actually be successful at it, but you have to administrate your talents. You have to dare to initiate activities. So I think that 2025, it's a year of also changing perceptions that yes, you are part of a group. The group is your identity. You love your members, but at the same time, you know, you are an emperor. You have a lot of potential. So keep investing in doing things on your own. Like, don't stop, you know, don't think that you are less, or maybe that, oh no, of the members I'm the less favorite, or of the members I'm the less, you know, popular. People don't want to see me. People will grow tired of me. No, he has a lot of potential, a lot of potential. It's just that he had to, you know, warm up to the idea of like, okay, people are here for me and not for the others, you know. And also him having this temptation of like, but if I invite the others, you know, and no, people are here to see you because you are their favorite. You know, people are rooting for you. People find you funny. Um, and he's very charismatic, very charismatic. Definitely, I see it in the sun. The sun card in the middle definitely lets me know that he's going to be working or putting content, you know, every any kind of content that it has to do with him having fun, or maybe interacting with other people and having fun, or maybe having contests or having competition, but competitions that are friendly and that are fun and that are very like outgoing and a bit childish, I would say, but maybe, you know, maybe playing child's games. I don't know why I want to say this, but there's something about, you know, you making people smile, you making people think about, you know, what it was like back then when you guys used to play this game and you used to laugh and just, you know, enjoy yourselves, you know, connect with memory, connect with memory. um he's an amazing singer, and yes, he seems very funny from what I've seen. Yes, he has the charisma. He has the charisma. He's like a sun. He's like a sun. He's like, his energy is so contagious. You know, his energy is so contagious. He's so radiant that you cannot help but look at him and you're like, wow, like you really steal the show. It's just that maybe for him, for a lot of years, maybe he had to dim his light. because it wasn't the right time, or maybe he wasn't promoted enough, or maybe there were some things that were postponed when it comes to him, or they told him, no, no, we don't want you here, like, you wait, or we will, cover, like, no, 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 you don't go out. It's all about going out. It's like, show yourself in the sun, like, show your face, like, show the way you are, and smile, laugh, be loud, be contagious, because it's like he's this happy pill, I guess. And maybe there were some moments in his career where they told him that he was too much, or that he was, what he was doing was somehow taking the shine from others or comparing him with other people. But now, no. Now he's like, this year is all about continuing this exposure, because the sun also talks about exposure. It's like, go out and shine, shine. You're going to be in the spotlight a lot. So get used to it. Get used to it. Don't hide. Um, the page of Wands and the King of Cups, I can also see him working on music. The King of Cups is giving me this more melodramatic, or a bit like melodic kind of side of him. Maybe his voice, maybe his romantic side. I also see a girl here younger than him. I don't know why I want to say much younger than him. Um, when I saw this, I was like, like, it could be a collaboration, but at the same time, and he's so nice, and he's of course that he could be like a father figure for her, but I don't know why. I think that, I don't. Could people be talking about him and another idol that is way younger than him? Because I don't see drama here, but I don't know why. I think that maybe there could be a misunderstanding, because this girl, I see it because I see a girl, but um, the Page of Wands is giving me this younger person that is very excited to work with you, or maybe their energy is very outgoing, and they are very motivated, or they are very energetic, and they are all over you, and him, trying to be nice and everything, and maybe people being like, oh, she and him, they're so touchy, or she smiles too much at him, or maybe she's trying to be funny and he smiles back and people just take it the wrong way. So I was like, God. But no, he's not in a relationship with someone like this. It's just that maybe this person can show too much interest in him, or being too excited to see him, that maybe people can take it the wrong way, because there's situations like this. People are very, like, every time an interaction comes on a screen, people tend to analyze everybody language. So yeah, in this case, I see him very calm, like the King of Cups that he is. But yeah, because of this girl, I don't know. I don't know why I feel her like she would jump around him, or just like try to touch him, or being funny, um, and being friendly, and just mm, very energetic, very energetic, very energetic, and him just laughing, him just be like, um, but yeah. But yeah, with the death card, definitely he's releasing his innovations. He's releasing this part of himself, this old skin, that he is a new person. He's a new person. He's still this very, talented, um, great singer, a great, I don't know if he writes his own lyrics, but he seems a very sensitive and inspired individual. And I see him working on music as well. But yeah, just, besides working on music, he still has the potential to keep showing up, in different shows. He's going to be very popular this year. So yeah, let's go. Show yourself.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to continue with Sunkun of Infinite. Sunkun of Infinite. He's the one that he has his own company, right? Because I see a company and I see him. So, and I see him working very hard for this company. So I'm like, wow, this is the type of person that if he has to stay, but basically live in the company, live in there, not move, and just stay long hours in there, he will do it. Um, we have for him, for Seungkyun, we have of Infinite, we have the Hierophant, we have the Eight of Pentacles, Six of Swords in the middle, we have the Fool, and we have the Moon. Then we have the card of the moon, then not the moon, the sun, and the keyword is shine. Um, he's so hardworking, and he's such a Taurus because the Hierophant also is a very Taurus card, but he's like he is a man that he's always between four walls. I don't know why I want to say this, but this is why I'm like, the company definitely is his because I see like is his house, he is like his second house, his second home, his business, his headquarters. I don't know. I think that his whole life is in there between those walls. And he's so hardworking with the Eight of Pentacles. He's working so hard. um I don't know if I think I don't know if it's about like him preparing something for Infinite, but could it be that he also has his own groups besides Infinite? Like, does anyone know if he has in his company, if he has a company, if he has another groups in his company? Because it seems it seems like he's creating something for someone that is not Infinite, for another group. um and he's very focused on this. He has been working very hard, long hours to release this. In the middle we have the Six of Swords, so it's about changes, advancing. Definitely he's putting on himself this year to keep advancing with the group, but also with his own individual vision. I think that he's like he wants to achieve more this year, and probably he's also changing, which is very unusual sometimes for Taurus to want to change. But I think that there's something about him changing the formula of how he has been working because he wants to expand, whatever this is. If this is like Infinite, if this is like moving on with them and a new concept, or if this is about him expanding his own business. But he's definitely thinking about like advancing, or maybe keeping himself updated about, okay, what does the audience want. This is why I'm like, is he the beauty in a group, or is he in charge of you know it's sort of like choosing talents, choosing like some rookie people, because the Six of Swords could also be him, casting people, or him going places to meet with different trainees, or with different artists. There's something about him eventually, leaving the cave, leaving the security of the enterprise, leaving this and being like, okay, with this, I want like a new outcome. I want a new mix, or, whatever is missing in this process, because he's working really hard. Maybe he also wants to put an end to this project. He wants to release it already. It feels like very important. This is why I'm like, this is bigger than Infinite. I think that this is a man that he does a lot of things. Like he is in charge of a lot of things, not just Infinite. I think that in his own business, he's also very, very much like invested. But he realizes that he has to advance more. Maybe he feels like, okay, I have been spending a lot of time here. Maybe I need to go somewhere else to get more inspiration, to go out more, to travel more, to talk to different people, because he's looking for inspiration. But he's so studious that I can see him just being, just inside these four walls, like I said, just in there. Um, we do have the full and we have the moon. So, so I think that, yeah, they could, if this is with Infinite, like this is like a new project or a new comeback, it's going to be exciting because it's definitely like a new chapter for their career, a new chapter for him. This is something also very experimental, very new. But because it's so experimental and new, we have the moon card. So definitely there's this feeling of him feeling a bit insecure about the outcome. Maybe the comeback is not going to be because I don't see money or I don't see, a result. Um, I think that maybe, not everyone will get it, or, just a few people are going to understand what this new beginning is or this new project of his is about. um, for him, this is very important. It could be solo work as well, but with the moon card, there's this feeling of, maybe the audience not completely understanding what this is about. So there could be a bit of disappointment in there. People being like, but why? Why did you decide to do it like this? Maybe people be like, did you change something? Because it sounds different. Um, he's trying to, push the bars and trying to be as original as he can. But maybe, there's something with the moon card. There's a bit of instability also. Um, I think that he could also face certain problems when it comes to maybe he wants to release something with the group and not everyone is available. So there's a bit of uncertainty in the middle. It's like, yeah, this is like a new beginning. This is like something new, but there could be a bit of, things not being clear about this. Um, yeah, but we have the card of the sun again. Just like this is a card that also, I believe, got seven Bambam. He got that despite of the result, whether people get it or not, the reality is that these people are famous already. They have the stardom, they have the light, they have the shining. They are very popular, they are very known, they are very talented, they are very charismatic. So it's not just about, numbers. I think that they are capable of keep, introducing new things. And of course, sometimes, some people like it, some people don't like it. Maybe this also could be that the audience is a bit lost when it comes to what they want out of, a comeback or a concept. Maybe there's people that are not used to certain uh, changes. Maybe people don't want changes in their favorite groups. They want the same formula, even though then they complain that there's groups that use the same formula for years. But there's something like is like, because we did get a lot in the spreads in the readings this, not today, now that I'm reading for Taurus idols. They got the full a lot. The full, that is like, this crazy new beginning, this unexpected idea. This is new me. This is something exciting for the artist, but maybe the audience is not ready to understand it or receive it. Maybe they're not in the mood. Maybe they were distracted with something else. Maybe the fandoms are not that united. Or maybe there's suspicions, also with the moon. There's something about maybe the audience being a bit suspicious, like, why now? or why this, so I wonder, what. But he's doing his best to be, to not disappoint anyone, of course. He's very hardworking. Of course, with the sun card, he's always going to shine at the end. So, okay. I'm going to continue with the boys new, with Chani of the boys. This is the first of all the Taurus that I've been reading so far that I feel the stagnation in here. I'm like, what is going on with the boys? Okay. For Chani, for new, we start with the Five of Wands, Ace of Wands, Tower in the middle, Four of Pentacles, Eight of Swords at the end. So see, the Eight of Swords came out a lot. And from the other deck, we have the cards of the Nine of Swords. It says Darkest Fears. So I think that they definitely want. First of all, there's a lot of conflict, a lot of drama in Chinese energy or life in general. I think that there's a lot of disagreements. People just being very complicated according to his energy, him having issues with other members or with people around him, him feeling a bit not so happy with them, and of course expressing it, because the Five of Wands is like, I can see him like he's not like, standing outside of the drama and being like, oh my god, they're fighting. No, he is involved in this. He is, um he's confronting people. um um I think that they are so disorganized. uh, are they having a comeback, the boys, soon? Because we have the Ace of Wands, so there's something about them, having to use their strengths, their energy. They are one of also of these groups that, they use their stamina, their body, their strengths, their vitality a lot. This is why we have the Wands. So there could be that, for him, there's a lot of disagreements about this, about who keeps this energy going. There's maybe this very passionate new idea for the boys to keep putting these very risky moves, risky, choreographies even. There's something very aggressive about it, but also very open to discussion. And I think that they are going to do it. They are going to do it nevertheless. Could it be a competition again? Please, no, no more kingdom. But I don't know why I feel like opposing this. He's like, I know we have to keep being, active, and sort of keep the energy up and the expectation up of the people. People have to be very excited to see us, and he's really, he's up for it. But there's something about, like, there's a lot of disagreement about, like, how many I put of myself. Maybe there's something. I think that Chani is a strong guy. He really, if you put him to the test, he will be able to do it. But there's something about him being like, with what I have to do as a singer for the group, and the car wheels, and the pirouettes that you want me to do, um, I cannot do both. So maybe there's a sort of disagreement about, like, oh, you never do, we do the dangerous or the most, um, complex moves, and you don't do them. So I can see him just arguing about it, like, okay, you guys don't appreciate my effort because I do bring the passion. It's just that my passion, or my element of fire comes from another tool. Like, you guys use your bodies, and I use the strength of my voice. um we have the tower in the middle. So I think that this is a very challenging year for Tani, for New. Very challenging year. He's not going to be the tolerant this year. I think that he's going to stop talking to some people, or he's going to break certain uh, conversations, or certain interactions with some. Um, I think that he there's some things that he feels that he cannot take anymore. He feels very much on the edge, very much on the edge. He feels like everyone is fighting, and they all fight him, and he's like, he's feeling very aggressive himself. He's feeling very. This is why I'm like, Chani is no victim here. He's like fighting back. He's also starting certain arguments himself, because he can be sharp himself. This is why we have the tower in the middle. He's like, I had been holding on for so long what I wanted to say, and I think that now is the right time to speak my mind and to tell you a few things that I want to tell you, that I didn't tell you the other day, but I always thought about it. So I can see him, with the tower, sort of, stating very harsh truths, and sort of, the whole foundation of the voice is going to be shaking a bit, um, because he's tired. He's tired. Maybe he feels like some people are not authentic, and they don't confront him, but they are very passive aggressive, or if they make comments about him. And he's like, I don't like that. If you have something to say, just say it to my face. Um, mm, they had a comeback not long ago. BBB was a song. I was very good, but I think they were disappointed not to win any comeback show. Yeah, maybe a bit of chaos and adjusting to the new company, and even some competition over leadership now that Sangyun is gone. Yeah, yeah. I think that, first of all, because I think that Chani is not a follower. Like, it depends. It's like he's not a follower. He's someone that depends how you ask him. If you ask him nicely, he will agree to do certain things, but still he has that attitude. He has that attitude of, like, you're not the boss of me. I'm doing this because I want to. This is why we have the Four of Pentacles. This year is going to be challenging for him, or he's going to be challenging for others, because he's not going to say yes to things just like this. He's not going to agree easily. He's going to be very much on the defense most of the time. Not wanting to come to an agreement, not wanting to conciliate, compromise. He's like, no, no, I don't want to do this. No, no, change that. I don't want to do this. If I'm not happy with this, I'm not going to pretend like I am. So yeah, yeah, it feels it feels um it feels like he's going to be very stubborn, very much fixated on his own ideas, his own ways, and also be paranoid. I don't know what is going on with Chani, but with the Ace of Swords, it's giving me paranoid. It's giving me also the Nine of Swords, darkest fears. I think that he's I don't want to say he's acting up, but he's acting like this because of something else. Something else is out of control in his life. He knows there's something that is happening or is going to happen, and he's starting to manifest the frustration that things are about to change. And maybe he's someone that he's like a typical and true Taurus. He doesn't want change this year. It seems like the change comes abruptly and he's not comfortable. He's not ready mentally to deal with these changes. He cannot. He cannot. And also because things are probably are not being handled in an intelligent way. So this is why he feels like so on the edge. Whatever you say to me, I'm going to answer back, or I'm going to tell you something unpleasant, or I'm going to be, you know, on the opposite. You're going to say something, I'm going to say it like, I'm going to contradict what you tell me, or I'm going to tell you no, or I'm going to oppose you. Because I think that he's opposing something deeper, something that has been bothering him, something that maybe has to do with his own personal experience of that maybe he doesn't have a choice. I wonder if this has to do with enlistment. I wonder if this has to do with enlistment because I think that he's that other people are enlisting um, is triggering some worries of his, about when it's going to be his turn, and also probably there's something about like I don't know if maybe the people in the group that he considers his friends. There's some people that want to leave earlier or they want to enlist now, like not now, but maybe at the near the end of the year. It's like there's more people that want to go. So, it feels like the more news he hears or the more he hears people talking, eh, it seems like everyone wants to go to the military and they don't want to be the boys. They're like, okay, I'm hoping it's my turn and that they call me. And he feels so betrayed by this because he's like, why do you want to go? if if we are here, like you have us, why would you going to go there? If he feels like an abandonment, he feels like he's been abandoned, you know so yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, with darkest fears, definitely he's thinking about some fears that he has about himself. um and this year is going to be very sensitive, very triggering for him, very triggering for him. I pulled some cards for Chani for his dynamic with a few of the other members, and almost all the time the devil showed up for the Chani side. Made me think something was going on personally. It was a few months ago, but it was like the other members were trying to give him an intervention of something that was the vibe. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I feel it. I feel it like I also feel it like he's fighting my own energy as well. He's like, no, that's not true. Like, oh, you don't know my version. That's their version. I'm not the the conflicted one. You know, I'm not the problem. They are the problem. And he sits like this. You know, so it's really hard to come to an agreement with someone like this, someone that puts this wall, um, and there's maybe, you know, um, also the other members are tired as well, you know, of opposition. They are like, you know, we also are doing our best, like, you know, why everything has to be so tense with you. um yes. But yeah, I think that they're trying, there's something that maybe they're trying, like you said, that intervention, something kind of energy. For me, with the four of the four of pentacles and the eight of swords, is this inability to get out of my own vision. It's like, I'm here, I don't care what anyone says, I'm not listening. I'm not listening. You know, it's like I refuse. I'm not listening. I'm not moving. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. And if I stay like this, nobody's moving me from here. So it's really tough to come to an agreement with someone like this. With someone like this. And I think that we start with the five of wands. So definitely the conflict now is stronger, but maybe they always had conflicts. Um, and maybe now he has more conflicts with others that maybe in the past he didn't have. So, but he has this abandonment issue. He knows he is complex. He knows that he could lose people if he continues like this. This is why we have the Nine of Swords. He knows darkest fears. He knows that he could push people away being like this, but he cannot help it. It's his way of navigating this frustration that he has. um, it seems like he's defending himself from something, and maybe it's about, you know, acknowledging certain truths about himself that he's not doing, and he's just protecting himself because he feels like, you know, you don't accept me. It's tough. This is my first of all the Taurus, the Taurus idols. This is the only one that I got very defensive cards, very. Okay, I'm going to continue with twice Chaeyoung. She's the last one of today. The tower at the end. The tower at the end. The tower today for the Taurus idols. And the world card. um, no, the red flags are for me, Saintful. So I can look at them and know when my mic has run out of batteries. They do this so I can see them. So I can see them and pay attention and be like, oh, my mic is not working. I don't have a sound. I'm talking by myself. she got the wall card again. So, and again, for a lot of Taurus idols, it's like embrace whatever happens, just take it in. Just, yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, universe. Like, okay, for Twice Chaeyoung, we start with the Strength card, the Magician. We have the Six of Wands, Six of Cups, and the Tower. And then the wall card that the keyword in here says embrace. Embrace. Very nice. I think that is a very nice, very strong reading for Chaeyoung. I think that this is a great year, a year of a lot of success for her, a lot of personal victories, a lot of personal victories, also a lot of independence. I think that she's stating her own, autonomy. She's defending her own beliefs. We have the strength and the magician. So there's this very strong energy of like, this is what I am. If you like me, great. And if you don't like me, well, what can I do? She's also, accepting herself much more. Um, being just feeling very very intelligent. There's something about her just being like, I feel so intelligent because now I stopped trying to, think about the others, or maybe think about like, okay, what would make the others happy? What should I do to make them feel happy or satisfied with me? I think that she's a very strong girl. um it's just that there's something about her having to accept that, that she's a very curious person. There's something about Chaeyoung that even though she is a Taurus, she is a very curious person inside. It's not a character. I know that I believe she has her own style. Among all the Twice members, she has this very original style, or maybe the way she acts or the way she behaves. Um, but for her, these are very important years of maturity, because she's like embracing this uniqueness in her, and also, opening possibilities for people to start, like, be prepared, because you're going to see her get much more authentic, or get much more original, or get much more playful with certain concepts, with certain ideas. And that she's just, playing this role in life, trying to figure out who she is, trying to figure out also what her strengths are, what her abilities are, and trying to, be proud of herself, and be very authentic. She's in this journey of also finding herself, finding her own identity. She's not another one. She's not a follower. She's not someone that you can be like, oh, you have to slow down and just, be like them. She's not going to follow the rules, or what is expected, or what people think that she should be like. She's always going to be this, I don't want to say rebel, but there's something about her just, getting very bored easily with certain guidelines. She's like, none of this that you showed me, it has to do with me. It doesn't match my energy. It doesn't match who I am. Um, the the Six of Wands in the middle, also victory with the group. I think that maybe also Twice probably is going to do a lot of activities, or maybe herself, you know, also doing some individual activities and being shown a bit more and being much more appreciated. She's also feeling very competitive this year, so I wonder if she wants to do more, or if she wants to participate in some kind of show where she has to show her ability, or her intelligence, or her ability to survive. She's a very intelligent person, so very agile. So I wonder if she's like looking for this kind of, like, I want to show it. And I want people to get to know more about this part of me. Maybe she does have like a hobby, and there's something that she wants to, apply for, like a kind of, um, um, competition, something like this. But she's feeling very passionate this year. She's feeling very passionate, very brave. We have the Six of Cups and we have the Tower at the end, like I mentioned. So this is like a this is like a cat with the past, and I think that this is where she's heading towards too. She's heading towards self-actualization, and with self-actualization it comes this side of her being like, I'm not a child anymore. The old me is gone. I destroy her. Like, um see, she's like, burning all the bridges. She's like, I will never be that young person that you wanted me to be, or maybe that you remember of me, and that maybe you appreciate and you miss, and you think that I'm that yet. But she's like, I'm no longer that person. I'm no longer that version. That version is gone. I burned that version of me. I destroy it. I'm sort of, getting rid of, the the memories. Like, there's something about her being like, I want to get rid of the false memories, the memories that weren't truth, or the memories that were made up, or the memories that actually were created by someone else, or maybe the I don't know, how they used to dress me, how they used to do my makeup, how the concept that they gave me. I'm not that person anymore. So don't ask me to go back to the past and replay those memories for you, because it's no longer in there. I'm not a child anymore. I'm a woman. So probably this also has to do with her, wanting this independence, or maybe her wanting to be appreciated more, or treated more like a woman and not so much like a child. There's something with the past. There's something that she wants to put an end to this. I mean, like, I'm not going to be that. If you come back to me and ask me to do things that I did like 10 years ago, I'm not going to do them, because I'm not in there anymore. I'm destroying anything that has to do with my past, good and bad. I think that she's maturing. She's releasing also a lot of things that maybe, people, sometimes I think that maybe people can be like, wow, like this is so abrupt of you. We didn't know you felt like this. And she's like, yeah, I always felt like this. It's just that you guys never gave me the space or the room to express what I really wanted to say. She's not angry at anyone. It's just that I think that she's like burning certain bridges, or burning certain aspects or versions of herself that she feels like don't resonate with the life that she's living at the moment. In this year, it feels very much about her, looking for recognition. And it's like, look at me now. I'm shining now. This is me now. This is me now. Be happy for me. Be happy for what I'm creating. Be happy for what I'm showing to you. Be happy from what I'm expressing to you, and focus on me now, not so much on, who I was 5 years ago. So yeah, with the world card of embrace, also her also embracing, um, her whole experience. But at the same time, it's like, give me room to be different. Give me room to expand. Give me room for new experiences. Please don't put me in a box. I don't belong to a box. So don't put labels on me. You don't know I'm so tired. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. Sorry for my voice, but my voice is not, and sorry for the mic. But well, my voice is not 100% recovered. But thank God I didn't cough. I was afraid of that I would start coughing and this would interrupt. Oh, really? Really, Daniel? What part is he? Ah, you wrote me a question? I didn't see it. Can you type it again? Ah, do you think that something will happen for the whole of K-pop during the season? This season, the tower showing constantly? No, no, no. I think that is more for maybe for the Taurus idols that there's some changes that you know. I think that, well, not for all of us, but for like sometimes for earth signs, it's really hard to navigate change. So usually it has to be in the form of the tower. It has to be like external because otherwise we refuse sometimes to see or to anticipate, that some things cannot remain the same. It's like we hold on, we insist on things until there's nothing left to work for or to invest in. And we keep insisting in something that is dead or something that is not stable enough. So maybe for Taurus people, literally the tower is like, this is like we destroy it. We tore it apart from the base, from the ground. So there's nothing left. And so you can concentrate on building something new. Because this that you were looking at, wasn't standing no more. It was shaking. The foundations were shaking. And you kept insisting, or maybe in denial, thinking that, oh, well, we will we will make it another month, another year. Well, maybe next time, we will continue like this. And no, sometimes, um, maybe someone tells you something. It doesn't have to be like, like physical, but maybe someone tells you a truth. Someone confesses something to you that maybe you weren't aware of, and they're like, okay, this is my truth. I have been feeling like this for you. And that shakes your world because you're like, oh, but I thought differently. I thought that you felt like this, and that is the tower. There is a tower. When you thought that your reality was all displayed a certain way, and all of a sudden someone, takes off the clothes, and they remove everything. And it's like, see, that you thought doesn't exist. So, so yeah, I think that's more. Mm, yes, for me it's like this. The tower, it feels like it's like a wake up call. It's like something that we had been post. It's like it could be a symptom even. You know, you know that something broke in your house, and you're like, oh, but you know, it had endured all this year. Like, I wonder what happened. No, it was about to break. It's just that you didn't pay attention. You were like confidently, you were like, well, it lasted for a lot of years. So maybe, this year is going to last. again, it's going to stand in there. No, it broke. So it's, and you're like, but oh, wow. So I have to change everything. Oh, sorry. This is why it's so abrupt. No, it's something got in my eye. I don't know if it's like dirt or something got in my eye. Oh my god. Oh no. No, I'm going to lose my eye. No. For example, me with my eyesight, I have been, sending uh, a lot of complaining to YouTube and their chat. The tiny letters that they put for the chat in the comment section, they're so tiny. I cannot look at them. I cannot read what it says on the phone. Um, but at the same time, I think that part is like, you need glasses. You are 40 now. You need glasses. You cannot read tiny letters anymore. So, and I was like, but why? If 2 weeks ago I was able to read them, well, now you can't. Oh, in Buenos Aires, yeah, it's so cloudy today in Buenos Aires. Today is so cloudy. It's not that cold, but it's cloudy. It has been cloudy all day. Do you want me to put cards to see if the K-pop scene, how is the K-pop scene in this Taurus season? And if they get the tower, it means that probably. We saw it a lot today. Yes, we saw it a lot. Yeah. No, he's unpleasant. Sorry, you shared me. Mm, a lot of people are unpleasant here. Don't worry. Including my president. I'm not into politics, but my president is so unpleasant. My president is supposedly to be a Libra sun with moon in Leo. Oh, I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him. But well, the other one was worse. The other option was worse. So yeah, it's tough everywhere. It's tough everywhere. We don't have good options. We got Bambam requirement. Oh no. No. Cancer. Oh, my country is Cancer. Argentina is Cancer. Cancer, moon in Capricorn. A total contradiction. That's why we're always broke. always sentimental about the past times. Like the past times were better, yeah. Okay, let's see the K-pop industry in the Taurus season, how they're going to go. Oh, sorry. Okay, the K-pop industry in Taurus season, how it's going to go? It's going to go good. Oh, sorry guys, I'm back. It's going to do great. It's going to be actually very prosperous. Probably the girls are going to save again the winnings, the prosperity, the money. They are going to make it, the girls. Um, and not because this deck is full of girls as well, but we start with the magician. We have the star card, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Look at this beautiful Queen of Pentacles. Isn't she lovely? I love her. I love her. Um, Very good. Actually, you're going to get a lot of news, and with the star card, there's a lot of stardom. Like there's a lot of very not just BTS, because when I think about very very successful people, when I think about very of course we are waiting for BTS to be back, but there's something about that, maybe the groups that are like the most popular, or the one that people cannot wait to see them or hear from them, or this could be idols, very popular idols, or it could be even actors, now that we're talking about the industry. um but there's a lot of famous faces, a lot of opulence, beautiful people, everything shines. There's everything is going to look amazing. Also with the Queen of Pentacles, a lot of winning, a lot of power, a lot of reputation, like billionaires, like a lot of maybe associations that it has to do with prestige, nothing cheap in here, nothing cheap. Whatever, if there's going to be comebacks, the comebacks are going to be very flashy, they're going to be very well spent. um Maybe also collaborations, or people appearing with another very famous people or celebrities of the of any part of the world. But everything contributes to this moment of stardom. Also the magician, maybe the idols coming out more and speaking more, or using more the whatever their social media, or whatever platform they have to share. They're going to come out of their dungeons, and they're going to interact with people, be like, oh, we have good news, you can buy this from us, you are releasing this, we are releasing this album, we're going here, we're going there. And it's like you're going to be like, I don't have money, but I will take a loan. I don't know. I think that people should be ready because you're going to spend a lot of money on these people. And they are doing this because maybe there's something about May in their culture, that this is where the productivity starts from them. This is where things get really, like, they really take the budget out. They are like with the Queen of Pentacles. They are really like, we are going all out with the money, with the resources, with everything. Like, whatever you want, you're going to look your best. you're going to look healthier, we're going to give you a better outfit, we're going to give you better MB, everything is going to be super fancy, beautiful, prosperous, nothing poor, nothing like low quality. Mm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but expect everyone. There's something about, there's room for all of them. It's going to feel very crowded, but also because I don't know, it feels like the international day of the idols, because it feels like this is their season. This is the season where they have to show off. They have to show off. They cannot be hiding. They cannot be hiding. They have to show the brands, show that they are looking their best. Um, you know, Also with the Queen of Pentacles, it could be also, if they're going to have some kind of changes in their appearance, something done. They're going to put the money into this, and you're going to see it, and you're going to be like, wow, they look amazing. Yes, yes. They are going to put all the money in the body, the health, the image, um, but also the communication, because the magician, it's all about, like, I want to be seen, like I want you to consume, what I'm showing you. I'm talking to you, like, I'm appearing in different interviews, so you guys come and show your support, be there for me. So it's going to be very competitive as well, but for me it feels like only the top stars are going to be the ones that are going to be the most talked about, you know not so much like the ones that are starting, or the groups that are just starting. You have to have this loyal fan base, I would say, to enter this game in May, June. Oh, guys, um, I I actually, we were one day we were talking with my army friend about that I don't read for BTS because they are in military, but we were like talking about hype, not hype, big hit, and and um and I pulled one card each, you know. We were just doing this among ourselves, because it was like, let's not do this public, let's do this between ourselves, like what they're going to get. And they all of them got very interesting cards in their relationship with Big Hit. The one that got one of the most complex and sharp cards was Yungi. Yungi got the Five of Swords with Hive. So it seems like the relationship with them is not really good. And he's really angry at them. He's not happy. Something must have happened between him and them, that I think that they will have to follow Jungi a lot. Like they will have to, you know, bow down a lot to Jungi to get him to come back, to get Jungi to be seen, to be active. because it seemed like he was pretty angry and very, saying things that weren't very pleasant to them. And I think that he's not over. Maybe when he comes back, the situation is going to keep continuing, like a battle or something. He's very disappointed in them. So yeah, I was thinking that, you know, maybe I should. It's just that I want to wait for them, but I think that that reading was very interesting because it's not like a premonition. It's more like how their things are between them and the company. Um, and I was thinking that maybe I should, do it, redo it with the same cards, and post it on Patreon for people that are on Patreon. And if you guys are interested, you can watch it because it was very interesting. Actually, like we were. Um, it's not like you are surprised, but um, it was very. Um, there's some dynamics that don't change, and there's some that um, there's some that will sustain. Will continue. Maybe there's one or two that could be like, I want out, or I want, or It's not that I want out. It's more like if you want to keep me here, you better give me what I want. Um, and then there's others that because of their emotional connection or bond or memories or their own perception, they are like, yeah, whatever. mm. I think that they're going to have to chase him a lot because he seemed very angry. The Five of Swords, win or lose, I think that he's really angry. He's like, he's really angry. I saw a clip from back in the day when they had to get something off their chest. Yoongi said he was told he wouldn't have to dance and would just rap. Instead, they had hours of dance practice. Yeah, the Five of Swords also. I believe that I pulled cards from this deck, and in this card, the Five of Swords is like the keyword is win or lose. So that means that he doesn't hold back for what he has to say to them. He doesn't hold back for what he says to them. So yeah, but I will record this in I will record the interpretation and I will share it with you guys on Patreon. Um, it was very interesting for us to see it because we were like, okay, now that we saw this, now let's wait and see. This is not to be like, oh, who is going to leave the company? This is a business, of course, but it's more like, okay, how are the things between them, at the moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. But they got represented by the Empress about them. I mean, the company Big Hit. They got represented by the Empress. So it's not like they are um they are like treating the guys bad. But the Empress, and this I will expand on the reading, because the Empress is like, since it's like the mother archetype, you know that sometimes you do have good mothers and sometimes you have bad mothers. So sometimes mothers, because they say that they know what is good for you, sometimes they make certain decisions that is more about them. Um, and also remember that the Empress is always like, I remember I had this tarot deck that it was, the Empress was represented by this very chubby woman, very chubby, like surrounded by food and everything. So, and also because, it's all about, nutrition, nurture, and the Empress also can be superficial, in the sense that as long as they have their belly full, they will sustain anything. Not all mothers are good. So, hmm. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. It has been a long 3 hours, but thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for waiting for me, for being there for me, and for be patient until I recover my voice. So yeah, if everything goes well, I hope that we can see each other on Sunday, next Sunday at 10 a.m. Argentinian time. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being here. Have a lovely week. Bye.